If you haven't already seen it, this week that's at the end of the show. If you haven't already seen it this week, we take a look at Pacific Rim.
See it.
I know you're excited, but hold on. If you haven't already seen it, this week we take a look at Pacific Rim.
See it.
Stop! Oh, you licked me.
The world is under attack by Godzilla-esque monsters, and our only hope of fighting back is an army of giant robots.
And that's pretty much the plot. Giant aliens and robots duking it out. I mean, what more do you want from a movie?
And that is okay by me. Director Guillermo del Toro does for sci-fi movies what Christopher Nolan does for superhero movies with the Batman reboot. Now, the synopsis does make this sound like the sci-fi movie of the week, but the movie is saved by a story that doesn't get bogged down in the origin details. It focuses on the human side of the story, and there is incredible attention to detail.
And that attention to detail might just be my favorite part about the movie. Now, when you're watching giant monsters toss each other through skyscrapers for 2 hours, it's really easy for the small things to go unnoticed. But in Pacific Rim, they actually stand out. I'm talking about the way the rain cascades down the robot's armor, the ooze and slime of the monsters. Even the rubble of a devastated city street looks as if it's planned to perfection.
Now, don't even bother trying to compare this to Transformers. It's like Del Toro met Michael Bay in a dark alley and said, "You call that a robot with a sword? This is a robot with a sword." That accent work for you?
Sounds good to me, mate.
I trust that opinion. Also, Japanese anime fans will notice some very strong parallels to the series Neon Genesis Evangelion. Parallels so strong that one might even call this movie a live-action remake.
Now, speaking of parallels, just about every character in this movie is a walking, talking action figure sci-fi cliche. Is that a bad thing? No. Director Guillermo del Toro said he made this movie in the spirit of a 10-year-old boy, and it shows. And that means you shouldn't buy a ticket expecting to see characters talk about their feelings or emotions. You should buy a ticket expecting to see hardcore robot on alien action. Then I should have phrased that differently.
Now, for me, this isn't a question of see it or skip it, but a question of when can I see this again? A Pacific Rim starts by relying on story over special effects, then proceeds to blow the audience away with some of the most incredible live action and CG effects I've ever seen. So seriously, just see it on the biggest screen possible.
Now, I don't agree with what Brett said about this movie relying on story over special effects, but I do agree that you should see it. The premise behind this movie is so ridiculously simple that it could have easily been really, really bad in the hands of a less capable director. Luckily, we have Mr. Del Toro at the helm. If you like what you see in the trailers, I think you'll like what you see in the movie.
Remember, every week you can catch more reviews just like this one on our Facebook page, Twitter feed, or on WJTV.com.
Got you!
Robot with a knife.
Robot with a knife.
Robot with a knife.
Robot with a knife.
Dingo bobbing shrimp baby.
Perfect.
Ha.